morning and welcome to Adventism number 1. This is like a series of little mini podcasts which I kind of did in a way of making vlogmas a bit easier for myself in the last 2 years, so you can go back and see what I was up to during Christmas run up, aka Advent, which I really like. I have different kind of rituals and things we do as a family and things that I make for family, friends, kids. So I'm extra excited to welcome you here today, and I wanted to give a kind of like a brief overview. You will see me finish up some whips. You will see me also finish up some whips still from Magic 3 Mile, which I really enjoy as a make-along for all things kids, and there's always toys being made. However, this year I didn't manage to finish all the projects, so you will see them reappear and being finished in the run-up. I have come up with stashvent for myself because I'm not able to afford advent calendar, definitely not this summer. I wasn't in money and I couldn't order. I'm also a bit disorganized and chaotic. So I went and looked at all my stash, and I looked at colors and kind of yarn qualities that would go together and packed myself an advent calendar. I know it's a bit like selfish, but it was so much fun, and I did something different to, you know, potentially usually you'd have a 20-gram mini skein of yarn in your advent calendar per day, but I packed two 20-gram skeins because of the project I chose to knit. I want to knit the Catvent Cowl by Amarna, and I will add in a picture of that, and I will show you the making of my stashvent advent calendar now before I go into a little bit of podcasting for Adventism, and then share some kind of vlogmas on the go clips at the very end of this first Adventism. So wishing you a very happy 1st of Advent, lighting the first candle and probably cracking into your own Advent calendars if you ordered one, or if you've made your own stashvent advent calendar, which I'm very excited about some friends joining in for. So have a look at what I created for me myself. So that is my advent calendar, and this is number 1. You saw I kind of randomly mixed it, and then I mixed it again when I was sticking on the numbers, and to be honest, because I don't want to spoil it for myself, I didn't check, I didn't zone in on the parcels, and I know what's in there anyway, but I kind of enjoy giving it a bit of a surprise moment for myself still. So this would be number 1. Ooh, interesting. So this is a mini skein that I got during Berlin Knits from a set of mini skeins by Snail Yarn, and I really like her yarn. She's started dyeing with plant dyes as well and released some patterns, so it's very nice to have some of the mini skeins now in the advent calendar. Actually, it was a set of 6 mini skeins, 5 or 6 I think. And this is from a stash share that my friend Vibeke, who is Knit Pearl, sent me a big box of balls of yarn just like this one, and it's something that's quite soft and fluffy, so I reckon there's some alpaca in there. And I chose this kind of slight contrast. Yeah, like I said, I added 2 skeins per bag of my calendar because I want to knit the Advent cow, and you would have seen a little image of that, and I've bought the pattern, and it's basically quite a lot of colour work, so you'll always need a contrast, and I thought I'll just do that. I'll just pack 48 mini skeins or make little mini balls, because some of the yarns I had in stash were actually bigger balls still, so I kind of weighed out 20 grams to make sets of contrasting yarns for myself, so I can get going with the Advent cow. And I will surely produce more scraps by using up these scraps, and I will potentially add them to my scrappy blanket, or I'll come up with some idea. I won't have the time to knit 2 cowls, which was a little mini thought I had, because there's another knitting project that I won't be able to share yet because it's a test knit. So I am quite busy with like my makes, but I'm very excited to join the Advent cowl, and this would have been unpacking of Advent calendar bag number 1. I'm very excited, and I will share kind of the cast on and project progress in the 2nd Adventism coming up very soon. Well, I'm gonna try and upload every Sunday, but you know, fingers crossed about that. I never know if I'm around or if I'm too busy to do it, so it'll come in that weekend kind of area. I hosted a giveaway marking the beginning of this, and the winner will receive the yarnchix pin and one of my yarnchix calendars. This is the 2020 yarnchix calendar. In the back you see the 2019 one, which I've just turned the page for the December photograph, which is Pinga on a beach in Portugal. And I do that. I kind of make a photographic calendar every year. For the last 2 years I had it, and this is the 3rd year running, and I stick on real photographs onto like a real monthly calendar. You can order it in my Etsy shop. That's where it is. I'm gonna film with my phone at the computer how I draw the winner with the random numbers. So the winner will be a subscriber and would have commented in the Ravelry group with the swatch number out of 10 swatches that they think I should cast on now. So we will also hear what sweater cast on I will kind of get going with this week, so I'm excited to both be casting on finally something new and finishing all my knitting. I will add that in now after this chatter, And then you will see my mending project, which is the current mending project I'm busy with, is my woodland tail mitts. Sorry, I had to go back into the name finding head. Woodland tail mitts is a design by Melody Hoffman, and I cast them on with yarn from my friend, Fran, who sent me this Manx. It was a black yarn special, and I first knitted them for EYF 2017, so the first Edinburgh Yarn Festival that I went to. However, I knitted them too short, and you will see me talk about this in the little outtake from episode 35 that I will share with you now, because I recorded and uploaded the episode just prior to this weekend, I think on Wednesday, and my mending project is basically extending this area here. So enjoy this little outtake from my regular podcast after I announce the winner, and then I will be back to show you my progress with the mending and some more vlogmas kind of content of little vlogs of me in Berlin walking about and getting up to no good, I suppose. So I've just sat down at my computer after recording that first bit of my Adventism to let you know how the voting went on my Ravelry. Excuse the extremely messy desk, never mind. So this is what we'll be focusing on. My Ravelry group with 2 till 17, 15 entries. Thank you so much for your support. So we'll both do a kind of walkthrough of the counting of what I should be knitting. This is the website that I use for random number. Like walk through the kind of voting with the numbers. I will do a little list, and then you'll see what I have to cast on next. And I'm going to use the random number generator to kind of decide who is the winner of the giveaway. Let's see. So here is next time I'm going to write down what is sorry, it's a draw. So this is the website I use in here, because my initial post doesn't count. It's from 2 to 17. And I'm going to go on generate. Winner is number 14. And number 14 is... Hey! Oh, have I got it? Katie! Lovely friend from Berlin. And she said that I should cast on the soiree sweater. So cast it on now, girl. Thank you so much. And I will send you the price, or we can maybe even arrange a handover. And thank you so much for all your lovely votes, guys. I'm so happy you're excited about the swatch story. For this month's mending project that I want to share, I'm going to share something that I actually mended this summer, and it needs mending again because basically it ended up in the washing machine, so I should really hand wash this project. I should show it. This linen top, kind of like a cardigan summer top of my daughter's that she really likes. And I used like a woolen tattoo project suggestion from Making Zine by Tiff Fussell. She is the maker behind the Instagram account, which I'll put down here. It's not Tiff Fussell, it's a different name, the Instagram account. Basically, her work is really lovely, and she does all these very inspirational kind of animals, critters and flower designs, and I used some of the kind of suggested flower patterns with these woolen kind of mini skeins I had from Susanna, who is Tika Gam, and I really like her kind of speckly coloured yarns, and yeah, I think that's mainly what this is, her yarn. And then this purple is Viola yarn, so Emily from Emily Foden, Viola and the Moon, and I really enjoyed making this flower, and then I ended up making this heart shape on the shoulder because this linen just wears out, mainly on the sleeve. Again, there's a new hole which needs my attention, and I made these little mini flowers as well. Yeah, lots of new holes because I actually was looking for this when I tried to record the podcast last week and I couldn't find it, and I now found it in the washing machine, so I must have accidentally added it to the washing. Some kind of little flowers. Here, there's another little flower, which will have to pop up more on this top because I saw the washing machine has basically shredded it. It kind of what happens with this linen fabric, and I only now saw on the label it's a hand wash, and I had been washing it with the washing machine. It was fine the first year she wore it. This is a top by Petit Bateau, who, you know, make some of their clothes locally, so I had bought some new stuff about 3 years ago, so when she was 4 or 5. And she's worn it in summer, and then the hands got worn out because she did like biting the sleeves, and sleeves wore out. And so I started fixing this by actually all the way underneath all of the flower, you might still make out, it's got a bit of linen fabric that I added to kind of create a space, because it was literally just a big hole where it'd been gnawed. So I'm gonna add more flowers and maybe more linen. It was worn again after I fixed it because these flowers are cute. I only just saw that this has happened, I think, in the washing machine now. So the second sleeve needs my attention. Ongoing work in progress. I just really like how this woolly stitch, especially if you reinforce it with some of the linen fabric scraps that I have from making bags and other clothes and stuff, I can kind of, I don't know, create a new piece by adding some of kind of these colors and flowers, and it's been worn, it's liked again, so that's really nice. And the current or upcoming mending is actually something I knitted, and you might remember from, I knitted these in the run-up for EYF 2017, the first Edinburgh Yarn Fest I went to. They are, oh god, I've gone blank. It's patterned by Bee Mandarins, these mittens. I will add the name. Anyway, you might be able to tell they're just a bit short, like my fingers don't, you know, I keep squeezing and they're sort of squeezed in at the top. And I found in my stash the leftover Blacker Yarns Manx, and it was a yarn present from Fran, again, my lovely friend Fran. And I found that I still had this mini amount, and because I really like wearing these mittens, but my fingers are like, you know, I can't actually stretch out my hand in them, which is stupid. So I kind of keep them kind of curled in, which is also fine. But I thought I might as well just undo the top and add the repeat, because in the pattern there's a version of them being longer or shorter, and just because I generally have small hands, I made the smaller size, but it's wrong for my hands, so I'm gonna add in that extra space to my mittens. So my mending is actually mitten mending, something I knitted for myself that I like wearing, but that's actually slightly uncomfortable because slightly too small. I love this design feature that Melody created here. It's hardcore knitting. It's like knit 7 together through the back loop or something crazy, which with this woolly yarn, I was like using a crochet hook. In the end it didn't work with just my knitting needles. I really love this lace in the crunchy munchy wool, and I'm gonna love them even more if they fit better. I love them because they connect me to my friends and to the Blacker Cal way back when there was a Blacker podcast lounge and all of that, and yeah, they remind me of that first visit and remind me of my friend Fran, and yeah, I just really like them. And now that I got them out as winter is approaching, I realized I had some left. I might as well, so I'm gonna fix them up and show you next time. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Adventism, and to be honest, with the voting for the cast on, it's a major draw, because even when I counted out your second or third choices, both the soiree and the Azor sweater scored once again. So it's 6 against 6 votes for both sweaters. I guess I'll have to cast them both on. Thank you so much for that. That'll be so much fun. The usual, like, casting it all on. And I guess since they're very different, like the color work will take some time. It's a relatively thin yarn and it's going to be slow progress. And the soiree together with the mohair, it's a relatively bulky. I think I've swatched now with a 5mm and feel like it's on. So yeah, that'll be a quicker knit apart from the cable, so I guess it'll be kind of like a similar number, so you'll see them both. Thank you so much for playing and for subscribing here and just being a lovely community, because I feel that is what we are. I feel like we're in touch, we knit along, we chatter, and we're all, I guess, as excited about making as each other, and I enjoy that. I hope you have a lovely first week of Advent, and I will see you very soon with some ice skating, the finished mended mitten, and probably more mending and project stuff. One thing I was also going to record and I just kind of put to the back of my mind was recording now, but I was going to have a quick chat about the 2 recent tarot cards, because I asked about how this kind of moving from the online, the digital friendships into the real life, how this kind of feels and what matters. And my tarot card for this week my tarot card is actually quite a lot to do with all these festivals and meeting people in real life. It's talking about, or I'm asking myself about this moment of, you know, knowing someone on screen, how it is when that jumps off screen. So trying to create this question of these 2 worlds, like at the crossover of like a social media character and then the real life meeting, because I know about myself that I'm the same either place, but I do know that some people might find it a bit funny meeting me, and the more I happen to meet people at festivals, I sometimes know they might know me from my podcast or maybe my Instagram, because I write a lot and I show my face a lot, or I don't know, but so I get these, you know, recognition moments, but then I might not recognize people back, and it always makes me feel a bit awkward if I don't know them or if I can't respond in the right way. Also because I don't want to make the mistake of offending someone or making someone feel uncomfortable. I don't, you know, I know it's kind of socially awkward how this crossover happens, social media, real life. But I wanted to just ask about how does this work, and how does this work especially with this idea of being, it's not even radical, but you know, asking for responsible action in our surroundings online and offline, and you know, diversifying and being aware of, you know, when people are being somehow exclusive, as in, you know, making others feel like they're not part of something. It's kind of a way of marginalizing, and I know that maybe because I do not recognize people, I might make people feel awkward. But you know, no harm intended, and I'm trying to work out how we can work on this crossover for it to be less awkward and more natural and more there, you know, because that is what I want to be. I want to be there for people. That's why I have the Patreon, so that I can grow my support and grow the possibility of me traveling to people to places, to meet more people that know me through the podcast, and to connect and build this community further and connect people in that community, as I know a lot of people are just so amazing, like the Magic 3 Mile crew. I mean, so many amazing friends have been made, and I kind of like that, you know, hosting knit circles and meetups elsewhere or in Berlin. That's already kind of where I feel kind of called to do, called to act on, and I just want to ask the tarot cards about this bridging. Let's see what the tarot cards think about that. So I was kind of thrilled to meet quite a lot of people this year, and as kind of a closing of the year topic, I felt like I wanted to talk about it, because I do spend quite a lot of time online, and the card, the moon, basically pointed towards that, how some of that scrolling, some of that online time is lost time. It won't ever come back, and it might not have enriched me much, whereas the connections have. So what really matters is meeting people in real life, and seeing their real truth, and connecting and going beyond that kind of first connection, which I love and I cherish. I think it is an extremely important thing to be able to connect in real life, or to connect some of the friendships made online with real life things, and that could be posts and sharings here, or I kind of like that the YouTube channel is a kind of, it's like a smaller community and less you know, not infused with so much advertising as maybe our Instagram scrolls nowadays are. And I have learned that I want to follow people on Patreon myself, which I'd always given myself sort of a limit, saying like, once I've reached $200, then I'll be able to spend, you know, and view 3 other people's work and stuff. Now I'm just going with the flow, and I'm just started following Dawn, which I really love her page, and I will just have a nose about what makes and makers interest me, because that in a way is also dipping in deeper into the friendships. And I enjoy having my Patreon page and sharing a bit more behind the scenes stuff, and I guess that is how that is for others as well. So I will be over there a little bit more, and hoping to go to more festivals. I'm very excited to teach maybe at festivals, and yeah, see you around and see you there. So on this note, I'm gonna really finally say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah. So I'm hoping to see you again next week with a cast on, or 2 cast ons, and much, much more. Now enjoy a bit of Berlin meandering and a little bit of vlogmas kind of feeling for this page. I send my love and plenty of hugs.